Okay. So the first thing you're going to do when you're drawing a Bohr model of an ion is draw the Bohr model of a neutral atom. So you're not going to start with the ion. Okay. Focus. You're not going to start with the ion. You're going to start with the neutral atom. So let's say, for example, we wanted to do oxygen, and we wanted to make it an ion. We're not going to start with the oxygen ion. We're just going to start with an oxygen atom. What would you need to find in order to draw a Bohr model for oxygen? You would need to find, to draw a Bohr models are all about electrons. In order to find electrons, tell your partner what you would need in order to find electrons, and then Sophia, I'll ask you. Yeah. Okay, Sophia, what would we need to find? We would need to find the atomic number. Okay, because that will give us the number of protons, and it will give us the number of electrons. So what is the atomic number for oxygen? Go find that on your periodic table. Has anyone lost their periodic table and need another copy? We're all good? What's the atomic number of oxygen? Everybody.
8.
8. Okay, because when we look at oxygen on the periodic table, up at the top there is an 8, so our atomic number is 8. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw our nucleus. Our nucleus will contain 8 protons. We're not going to worry about neutrons just yet, okay? If the atomic number is 8, that means the number of protons is 8 and the number of electrons is 8. Where do our first electrons go? They go in the first, what do we call this thing? That is called a shell. What's another word for it? Or energy level, absolutely, yes. Awesome. Okay, so we have 1. Where do we put the second one? Right next to it. Okay. That means after that, our first shell is full. So we now, for the rest of the 8 electrons, we need to move to the second shell. Where do we put the next one? Do I put it at the top, the right, the bottom, or the left? Top. Although as long as, I wouldn't mark it wrong, as long as you don't pair them up until you have to. Where does the next one go? On the right. And then we go to the bottom, and then we go to the left. And that's going to give us a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we need 2 more. Now they're going to pair up 7 and 8. Okay, so we start by drawing our neutral atom. The second thing we're going to do is we are going to decide, do we add electrons or take them away? Take a look at that. Tell your partner, are we going to add electrons to this or are we going to take them away? And how do we know? How do we know if we need to add electrons? Spencer. Yeah, it's going to be closer to full. So add electrons if it's closer to full. And that means we're going to remove them if it is closer to empty. And by the way, if we get to the end of this and you would like a printout of this, I can do that for you. Okay? So is this one closer to full or closer to empty? It's closer to full. Full is 8, and we have 5. 5 is more than halfway to 8. So we are going to add electrons. How many electrons will we add here? Tell your partner. And then you can show me the number of fingers. How many electrons will we add? Yes, we're going to add 2 because we've got a gap here and we've got a gap here. So we're going to decide, do we add or remove electrons? And then we're going to, in this case, we're going to add 2 electrons. In this case, it's 2. The fourth thing you're going to do is you are going to draw brackets around it, square brackets. And then the fifth thing you're going to do is you are going to write the charge. So let's start with our square brackets. If we are adding 2 electrons, that means we're adding -2. Yeah? If we add -2, that is just -2. So our charge is going to be -2. Or you can write 2 minus if you prefer. So 5 steps. First, draw the regular neutral atom, same number of electrons as protons. Second, you're going to decide, am I closer to empty or closer to full? Third, you're going to either fill it up or empty it. Fourth, you're going to add square brackets. And then fifth, you're going to add the charge. Always those same 5 steps. I will probably also ask you to name the ion. Now, if I don't ask you to name the ion, you don't have to. Like, step 6 is kind of like if I ask. But for now, we're going to practice that because what do you know about anions? Anions are negative ions. Do we do anything with their name? Yeah, these ones become "ide," so they end in "ide." It's not oxide. Now, it's oxide, and they always have 2 syllables. Okay? So you're always going to take the first syllable of the element name and then add "ide." There's like one exception to it, but I'm not even going to teach it to you. Okay? Because like, who needs it? It's grade 9. You don't need exceptions. Okay? So you take the first syllable of the element and add "ide." So basically, when you're reading the name, you should be able to go oxide and have 2 syllables, not oxide. Okay? So like hydrogen would become hydride. Nitrogen, nitride. Not nitrogide. Yes? Metals do not change their names. Okay? It's only the anions, which are all nonmetals. Shh. All of these anions are nonmetals. That's one of the reasons that they are nonmetals, is that they form anions. If we, on the other hand, we have a, whoops, that's a weird C. What do we call positive ions? Cations. If we have a cation, which is a positive ion, don't change the name. Don't change it. Don't change it. Just leave it. Leave it alone. Aluminum. Can you imagine aluminide, alide? Yeah. Sodium sodide. Does that sound good? No. What you'll find is that if they don't sound good, probably they're not. Okay? And if you haven't got that sense just yet, don't worry. You'll get so used to them over time. You'll be like, oh, this one is good. That one's bad. So how would we name this O2 minus ion? What would we name that? Tell your partner the name of this O2 minus ion. It is negative. And negative ions, what do what? They end in "ide." And the name is oxygen. What would it become? Oxide. So you take your first syllable, ox, and it becomes oxide. So that is the oxide ion. Yes? Metalloids, is it like what? They're kind of weird. It depends on what they're combining with. So you might have, and silicon is one of the exceptions to the 2-syllable rule. Silicide, they'll often behave like nonmetals when they're bonding with other elements. But here's the thing. Sometimes, instead of one atom giving electrons and the other one taking it, sometimes 2 atoms will share electrons instead. So they'll both contribute 2 and they'll both hold on to 2. And we'll talk more about that in Unit 3. Okay, but for now, we're just going to go with this. Okay, yeah, but that was an excellent question. Okay, and metalloids fall in that category of where they usually share their electrons. So we don't really have them being ions. Same thing actually with carbon. Carbon has 4 electrons. Is that closer to full or to empty? Well, it would need to either gain 4 or lose 4. So it's halfway. And it actually does tend to do that thing where it shares electrons. So I'm never going to give you a carbon ion because carbon does not tend to form ions. It has a tendency to just share its electrons so it doesn't become positive or negative. And we'll worry about that later. Did you have a question or are you just moving your hand? Moving your hand. Okay, cool. All right, let's try another one. Magnesium. First thing we need the atomic number. I'm going to call somebody's name because everyone should have a periodic table. If you don't, let me know. I can get you one. And all you need to tell me is a number, so this shouldn't be too scary. Okay? And if you don't know, feel free to ask the person next to you to show you. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle these while you guys find the atomic number of magnesium.
We always can't find it. Hey, it's the ones on the. I always look at the different show those first. Can't see anything else.
Okay, atomic number. Are we ready? I should ask. Anyone need more time? Okay. Hudson, what is the atomic number of magnesium? 12. Beautiful. So what are we going to put in the center of our Bohr model? We're going to put 12. 12 watts. Protons. Okay. This 12 tells us that we have 12 protons and also that we have 12 electrons. Then we start drawing shells. And don't worry, on a test or a quiz, I'll have circles for you. You won't have to draw them, okay? I think you have to draw them today. I apologize for that. I should really redo this resource so that it's got circles pre-drawn for you, but there we are. How many electrons on the first shell? 2. 1, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Where does the next one go? On another shell. So we now have 11, 12. So now we have our neutral atom. You're always going to start with the neutral atom. What's the second thing we do? We ask, are we close to full or are we close to empty? Are we going to add or remove? So we're going to remove here. So we are close to empty. So we're going to, number 3, we're going to remove how many electrons? 2. So you can either cross them out with an X if you've written in pen, or if you want to, you can erase them. Okay, and if you really want to, you can erase that shell, or you can just leave it empty. Okay, so if you had this shell here and it was empty, that would be fine. Okay? I'm going to get rid of it because it's going to make it a little bit easier. Because after that, number 4, what's number 4? Square brackets. Okay, that's easy. Just dunk, 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 dunk. You don't have to understand anything to do that. You just have to remember. And then the fifth thing you have to say is, here we removed 2 electrons. So what is our charge going to be? If we remove 2 electrons, are we adding -2 or are we subtracting -2? Which one are we doing? We are subtracting -2, so that's going to equal +2. Okay? So when you remove electrons, you need to say, I am taking away negative however much. If you're adding electrons, you say, I'm adding however much. Okay? So there is our charge. And where does that go? Top right, 2+. And then number 6, maybe I ask you to name the ion. What is the name of this ion? Yes, magnesium, because it does not change. Now, question, would anyone like to see any more examples, or would you just like to do some practice? Practice? Okay, so what we're going to do is you guys are going to work on pages 101 to 104. So 101, 102, 103, 104. You have a 3-day weekend, though, to complete this.
Yeah, same.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 ions to draw. So if you say, I've got 4 days to do this, that's 3 per day. 3 ions per day. Because you've got today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah?
Okay, I'm gonna switch to serial mode after I do the lighter because I need to see my color wheel that I
Or if you want to do more today because you've got time in class and you don't want to do it at home on your weekend, you can do more today in class. But if you do 3 to 4 ions per day, that will get you through everything except for 13, 14, 15. Let's omit number 13, 14, and 15. So now you're just drawing them, okay? Oh, what's omit? Omit means leave out. But you know what? I could do even better. I could just say do numbers 1 through 12, and wouldn't that make more sense? Right? I could say do numbers 1 through 12. There we go. Yeah? 3 to 4 ions per day? Yep. We okay?
Yeah.
Anything broken? No? Okay. Hi. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't realize I need to add something in. I have given you the atomic number, and I've also given you the number of neutrons. So in your center circle, you're going to write, let's say, 12 protons, and if there were 13 neutrons, you will also write 13 neutrons. Okay, so add the neutrons into the nucleus. Okay?
Miss Spence.
Yes. Oh.
So for the group name, you'll say what group is beryllium? Yeah. Yes. The ion symbol is
I should also try more. You said every day and like at school I would do it 12 ion class. But I didn't. I don't really want to. You don't want to hear me. I don't want to hear what my laptop is. It added off to me in the English. No, but I feel like laptop and I'm responsible. Oh, okay, let's try to read this.
Yes.
And she like she looked to see my lawn and just never like oh my god. So now my mom's like, Mom, what do you got to cook today? I see what home today. So I'm getting nothing. My favorite song. Just gonna go home and like watch Ion symbol. Ion symbol. What do you mean ion symbol? Oh, I don't know. Where do you think rush me? Oh, hey, we go. This song is like 4 minutes, but why is it 4 minutes? I played a song in the 70s. You said 78? Yeah. What? This is really long. Because there was like multiple songs in one, like inspired. I wonder if they have winkle speakers actually. And it's kind of, yeah. Yo, I was at a club meeting with Izzy, and it was like, it was really funny. It was us and the teachers, right? And then she started dumping on me on like the cookie run kingdom floor. Stop! In front of the teachers. No, but Izzy. She's like, and like her soul like split, right? And her evil side wanted to like ruin her. So the teachers are fine. Their teachers are so good. It's really hard. I feel like change. Given this I can't do that. Oh, I can I was gonna have it actually, because I have this enriched answer. I don't have that. Yeah, I have it. Oh. What other songs do I really like? Winkle Swing and Winkle Swing. Winkle Twinkle. Winkle Swing. That's a good song. Good song. Why is the other? I'm actually kind of walking. No, no, no. You know how it's Four. So there's 4 lines, right? You're gonna do the I, right? Oh, right. Just a second. I changed my internet. I gotta have I mean, I write it, but also the math. Okay. Where's my sister? Like my I want to make my I'm legally allowed to do that. Yeah. Why do you think you weren't? Well, like I know I was trying to I didn't see you. Yeah, it's like okay. Wait, that's not like loud, right? I can hear it. Okay, can I? Here, will you turn it on? Okay. Yeah, but I'm like scared. Like, oh my god! I want to be like, oh, what I'm talking about? It's the plot of the yes. I read that electronics opera. Like, I want to know why you think. Okay, you know, it's long, but it's very story that I can't share with anyone. Was it like did you actually like meet him? No. Yes. Also, he asked me to like vote for him for president, and I did. Like, I think I did. Because I thought the other guy was okay. I didn't vote for him. I didn't care. And I didn't vote for him. Oh, you didn't vote? You didn't? Actually, I think he did. Oh, what's up? I was like, I mean, I didn't even know he's when I voted for Con Melodious because they're like the music. They're more in the music family, so I feel like they're like, yeah, but they did. Okay, that's true. Maybe another new one. Except bring back Friday, which was like yes. Cause like when you okay, line art is done. I really love this brush. It's always yeah, I don't know what it's called. I miss that. That looks like oh, I hate that whole okay, now we're gonna do base colors. Wait, first I need to make this layer multiply. Oh, and I can make it. What is your highest? Yeah. No, I like was able to pull down about 2 songs and both
No, you're really okay. Yeah. Let me just press stop here because we don't.